Oh.
Welcome everybody, and thank you for coming to another KIC meet. Today we have Rocket Digital with us. They are in a video call. They will talk about one of their clients, and while talking about them, they will explain what marketing tools they use to grow with their clients. So I guess take it away.
Yes, thank you. So we are Rocket Digital, and we are a digital marketing agency, and we work for a number of clients. Among them is the Alpha Man, and we will be talking to you about them today, because we use more channels for this client, and it will be more interesting for you to learn about them. We can go to the next one, and we'll show you what we'll be talking today about. We'll introduce ourselves, and next we'll introduce the client to you, and then we will talk about three channels that we use for actually. Google search advertising, Google display advertising, Google shopping, so a lot about Google, and then next social, specifically Facebook and Instagram, and then we will end with questions. So there will be room for you to ask questions. Please do. Next. Yet another one. So there we are. I am Marleen, and this is my colleague Whitney. I'll introduce Whitney shortly. She works with us for a year now. She's quite technical, so she specializes in SEO, and this is, for me, it's really technical, but she can do it easily. She also does all sorts of work for a lot of clients, so she is broad in her work.
Yes, and this is my colleague Marleen. Marleen already works for Rocket Digital for, I think, 5 years now, and Marleen is specialized in social advertising. So today she will talk about Facebook and Instagram, for example.
Yes. Then about us, Rocket Digital is a team of 16 consultants right now. When I started, I was the sixth, and so we are growing steadily despite Corona, actually, or maybe thankfully of Corona. We were founded in 2012 by Leonard and Peter, and have experience since 2005 in the era of internet that's actually almost old. We are a Google Premier partner, which means that we are in the top 3 of Google partners globally. This gives us a lot of advantages, so it's really nice to be this partner. We also give tailor-made courses. So part of this, the information you'll see today is from the courses that we give, but really shortened. And overall, our clients are fairly happy with us. So we are happy to say that we keep a lot of our clients, and we grow actually harder than we can right now. So we have a client stop.
Yes.
So that's who we are. What we do is the next slide. That is our services. So you can see here some examples. Google advertising and shopping. Also, we give training. We do CRO, which is optimization on the websites, marketplaces, but also Spotify, and they are quite new services, so they are not on the slide, but we also do TikTok and Snapchat. So in social, there's a lot of other channels that we do. Next to our clients, which is on the next slide, I am currently working for the Hanse. So that is one of my clients right now, which gives me a lot of work to do, but it is really nice to do so. Also, we have clients like Mart Visser, which is a fashion brand, Care for Skin and the Alpha Man. our skincare products.
brands,
Yeah,
yes.
skincare brands. KIC to go is quite a big client for us, and Arriva Touring as well, and those are Whitney clients. So that's just a little of our clientele, actually. So for the next part, we are going to introduce the client and the first channels.
Yes. We will talk you through the different online channels by telling you about a client of us, Care for Skin and the Alpha Man. And can you go to the next slide? There's some more information about Care for Skin and the Alpha Man. Yes. Care for Skin is a beauty brand that focuses on facial products for women. And it's founded in 2011. And a few years later, they added a new shop that's called the Alpha Man. And there you can find beauty products for men. Both brands focus on qualitative products, and they really focus on a strong brand experience. But how do they create these strong brands? First of all, they create a lot of inspiring blogs. Yes, they. Okay, and they really focus on an excellent customer service. So there are visible online through social media channels like Facebook and Instagram, but they also make sure that their brand is spread out everywhere. So on the boxes that they send to you, if you order a product, you will also find their logos, for example. In the next slide, we have a short video, branded video from the Alpha Man, and that gives you an idea what Alpha Man does and what kind of products they sell.
Yes. Do you have audio?
We have technical difficulties.
That's okay. It's a short video. So.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can't hear anything either. No. Okay.
Not from the video.
Okay. Are there any questions from the audience already? No. Maybe you can tell what the video is about a little bit.
Classic.
Yeah, I heard something, but I don't know. Oké. Ja, het gaat nu gebeuren.
Waarom speelt hij daar af? Ik heb niks hier.
Well, you said there's another video in the presentation. Maybe we can skip this, or you can tell what we show in the video.
Yes, I can tell a bit more about
Okay.
the Alpha Man.
Mm-hmm.
The Alpha Man focuses on skincare products and hairstyling products for men. So in this video, you will see what kind of products they sell. For example, products for men's beards or hairstyling products. Pomade is actually one of their best-selling products, and pomade is some kind of hair gel for men that was used back in the days, but now in 2022 it's hot again. So they're really focusing on that product.
So it's okay. I think we'll go further, and
Yeah.
maybe in the meantime you can try to get it right for the next video.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Alpha Man and Care for Skin are founded by Cedric. Cedric is the man that you see on the image on the slide. And Cedric came to Rocket Digital with two goals, actually. He wanted to be his brands to be more visible online, but at the same time, he wanted to really grow with his two brands. So he wanted to get more revenue. And on the next slide, I can show you how we try to. Yes, we use different online channels to actually accomplish these goals. For example, we use search advertising, we use Google Shopping, we use SEO, Google Analytics was involved, display advertising, and recently we started also with social advertising for the Alpha Man. What have we achieved so far? Well, since 2015, we achieved a 30% annual growth in revenue from different CPC channels. So, for example, Google, from the search campaigns that you find in Google. And also, we achieved 50% growth in Google Shopping. The organic traffic has grown with more than 150%. And we achieved a lot of top 5 positions among the organic search results in Google.
So maybe it's nice to explain a little bit more about what is the difference between SEA and SEO. SEA is search advertising, and SEO is are the organic results in Google. So in the next slide, you'll see the example. On the top, this is familiar to you, of course. On the top, you'll see the advertising. On the right, you'll see results from Google Shopping. So that's a part of Google Ads. And after the ads, you'll see the organic results. You'll think they are free. Of course they are, but companies work very hard to achieve those top results, actually. So it's not really free because there's a lot of labor involved. On the next slide, you'll see the ads can appear on different places. So you'll be able to see them in the Google Search Network, which is Google Search, but also a lot of different other networks and sites with search machines involved. The Google Display Network is a large group of websites actually that have advertisement areas available, and you'll see these everywhere in apps. Wherever you think, okay, this is annoying, it's probably the Google Display Network. Then you have Google Shopping, which is mainly on Google itself. The shopping results you'll see next or above the search results when you type in a query. And of course you'll have YouTube. We can advertise there from Google Ads, and there are the Google Search Partners. For now, we'll focus on Google Ads, and the advantages of Google Ads is that during the orientation process, when you buy something like a hairstyling product, you'll orient and you'll go through a lot of searches and a lot of channels, and through all these channels people come in and do their search, the orienting. So it's not usually that you search something the first try and you buy it directly. All these channels are part of it, which you will see on the next slide. So here you see all the channels that can interact with, and usually this network is a lot larger and more complex. So what are the advantages of Google Ads? You can have immediate results. The setup takes a few minutes ideally. Specific targeting, you can be very specific in geographical targeting or demographical targeting, also in interest targeting. So Google knows through search behavior that people are interested in buying a car or interested in buying a hairstyling product. These are targeting options that we can add. Google Ads is very cost efficient, so you only pay for clicks, and it's very insightful. You can see exactly what each click costs and where it comes from. It's also pull marketing, so with push marketing it is like display network, you push an image to someone. With pull marketing it is like you search something, a query, and we will pull you in to the website. So that's the difference. That's the last slide, actually. Can you go to the next one? So here you see it. Yes.
So that was a little bit of a short introduction about Google Ads. Now we will tell you a little bit more about specific online channels. If you go to the next slide. Yes, we will first start with search advertising. If you can continue to the next slide, I can show you what the search ads look like. On the right side of the screen, you see a typical search ad, and this one is from the Alpha Man. And a search ad is characterized by a lot of text, as you can see. And a search ad is only shown to people if they search for your product. So for example, this ad is shown when somebody searches Reusel pomade. And pomade is the hairstyling product for men. It's like a gel, and Reusel is the brand in this case. So first, we let the system know on which search terms our ads should be shown in a Google network. And after that, we write an attractive text ad to pull people to our website. We can include some extensions. Extensions are, for example, the two things that you see in the back, the back of the ad. Here you see haarverzorging and hairstyling, and those are, for example, site link extensions. And these are some extra information that you give to a customer, and where a customer can potentially click on and go to that specific area of your website. For a search ad, you can include some targeting options. For example, now in this ad, we are really focusing on a product for male. So we can say to Google, okay, all right, we only want to show this ad to male and not to females. You can also include targeting options like age. For example, we know that our target group are most likely men between 18 and now around 30 years old. So we can also say to Google, all right, only target men that fall in this group. And last but not least, we have to upload our text ad. And then the ad will be shown online in the Google network.
From the audience.
Yes.
I think it was about the Google Ads. They ask, how do you measure these results?
We measure these results because we can implement. It's actually quite technical to explain, but in short, we put a pixel on a certain website, and that pixel shoots information every time somebody comes to your website. So that pixel shoots information to our Google Ads account, and in a Google Ads account, we can track how many clicks there were on certain ads, or what are the costs from these ads, or where did the visitors came from, and stuff like that. So that's how we measure it.
Yes. Also from the pixel itself, the conversion data comes back. So if there was a transaction, it will be linked to the exact click and query that was used.
Okay, thank you.
To understand how search advertising works, you have to understand the auction model. And on this slide, you can see how it works. First of all, user performs a certain search on Google, and then the system of Google filters out irrelevant ads. For example, if we place an ad for the Alpha Man, we can target on specifically only people in Groningen. And then, of course, our ad will not be shown in a place like Amsterdam. So Google filters out the ads that are not relevant for a certain place or for a certain person. After that, all the ads that are relevant can be shown only if the ad rank is high enough. And on the next slide, I can explain you a little bit more about the ad rank, how that's working. The ad rank is calculated based on different entities. For example, your offer and your quality score. Your offer is something. Your offer is basically something that you say, okay, for each click, I want to pay a maximum of $4 or $3, for example. And the quality is a score that's built on different components, and it basically tells you if your ad is from a good quality or from a poor quality. And if you multiply all these entities together, you get an ad rank. And if your ad rank is above a certain quality threshold, your ad can be shown in the Google Search Network. But in this example that you see on the right side on the screen, it's important to notice that although Bob has the highest offer, so he says, I want to pay to a maximum of $4 per click, his ad is not even shown because his ad is of really poor quality. So it's important to notice that not always the highest bidder wins the auction.
Actually, more often not, because quality is quite a large part of this.
Yeah. And here's a typical example of a text ad from the Alpha Man. The text ad consists out of 2 or 3 different titles, 2 different descriptions, and of course in front you see a link. Here you see a link to the website from the Alpha Man. So if you click on this ad, a potential customer will know that he's going to the website of the Alpha Man. And if you want to offer some more information to potential customers that are searching for products, you can add some extensions. For example, in the ad of the Alpha Man, you see on the bottom of the ad some links that are in a blue color, I think, yes. And these are typical site links. Site links are extensions where you can navigate to a certain page on a website. So in this case, we are offering some more information about different types of pomade where you can directly navigate to. And this is basically how search advertising works. And the next channel that we use is display advertising. Yes, if you can continue. Yeah, all right. Display advertising is basically an online advertising method that uses images of or banners from certain products or services that you want to promote online. And these banners are visible everywhere. For example, on partner sites as nu.nl, which is a news forum, but also on sites like YouTube, yeah, you name it, and it's basically everywhere. I think everybody is familiar with this type of advertising. And display advertising can also be used for retargeting purposes. And later on, I will tell you a little bit more about retargeting.
Next one. Yes.
Yes, but how does display advertising work? Well, first of all, you have to make a choice between if you want to show regular display ads or responsive display ads. On the right side of the screen, you will see an example from the Alpha Man of a regular display ad that usually includes an image or a banner with text that is already included. But you also can choose for responsive display ads, and this works a bit differently. Here you give some information to the Google system. For example, you give different titles, different descriptions, and different images. And then Google makes up different combinations. So they make the banners themselves. The biggest difference between a regular and a responsive display ad is that in case of a regular display ad, you will exactly know what your potential customers are going to be, what they will be seeing. For example, the ad that you can see on the right side of the screen. And with responsive search ads, Google makes something of it. So you're not exactly sure what your potential customers are seeing. Then you might ask, why would you choose for responsive display ads? Well, Google has a lot of data and a lot of information about people, and they try to mix up the banners in the most optimized way. So they really try to experiment with all the different types of information that you give to them. And they actually create banners that are very attractive for people. So you often see that these type of banners have a really high CTR, that's the click-through rate, for example. In order to set up the display campaign, you also have to define the target location. For example, you could say, oh, I want that my display ads are shown in the area of Groningen or another city. You have to select the language that your customers are speaking. For example, we target only people that speak Dutch. Then you have to allocate a budget. So you have to say, I want to spend like €100 a day on this campaign. And after that, if the budget is used, nobody will see your ad after that. And last but not least, you have to determine your target audience, and you can target people very broad based on their interest. But you can also make custom audiences yourself. So you can, for example, say we want to target people that are already in the market for hairstyling products for men. So you say, okay, let's create a group of people that search for these kinds of products. And all the target options are, for example, on age, gender, family, income, etc. And at the end, you upload the images or banners that you're going to use. And then we go to dynamic retargeting. Dynamic retargeting is is a more personalized campaign, actually. I think everybody knows this type of campaign because it works like this. Today I can search for some shoes on the internet, and tomorrow I will see these exact same shoes on another place on the internet because I'm being followed with a banner. That's something that some people really find annoying, but we as marketers, we actually like it because it works really good.
Yes.
You see that a lot of customers are actually clicking on those banners and then indeed buy these products. So it works like a quick reminder for potential customers. This is a type of ad that is used to extract more value from potential customers that already know your brand or already visited your website. And another channel that we use for the Alpha Man, for example, is Google Shopping. This is something you guys are also familiar with, probably. If you go on to the next slide, you see an example of Google Shopping. Here you see all types of different men hairstyling products, pomade, for example. And Google Shopping is basically a price comparison tool. And its main advantages are that you immediately see the product that you're searching for, and that you also immediately see a price and a store where you can buy it. So for a customer, it's a really nice channel to interact with. On the next slide, I will explain you a little bit more about Google Shopping because it works differently than the search campaigns. In order to set up a shopping campaign, you need a structured printout with specifications of your product. And on the left side of the screen, you will see an example for the product that is called Gaius pomade or pomade. The product feed that is made, there's a lot of information about the product in it. For example, you see a product price, you see a product description, a product image is included, a link to the website is included. Also the shipping cost, for example. So all these information about one product you should include in a product feed if you want to be found on this product in the Google Shopping channel. And there's a reason why you have to make this printout, because in case of the search ad, you can say, okay, I want to be found on this specific search term. For example, I want to be found on pomade. For Google Shopping, it's not that easy. You're basically not matched on specific search terms, but on the information that you include in your product feed. So for example, when a user performs a search, let's say Gaius pomade XL, that's the product that you see on the screen. Google basically looks into your product feed and sees if there's a match with the search term from a user. So in order to be shown in the Google Shopping area, you need to make sure that you included all the right information about the product in this feed.
It's on the next slide.
Yes, it's here.
Yes. So first there's a search term, then there will be a matching process, and if there's a match, all the matches will be shown in Google Shopping.
Yes.
Are there questions for now?
It's again about the Google Ads. If you link Google Analytics with Google Ads, isn't it easier to measure the results?
It's actually the pixel we were talking about is Google Analytics, so that is the thing that will be matched. Also, we can implement a pixel from Google Ads. It works a little differently, but it's more accurate with the campaigns. So we use usually different types of measuring alongside of each other. Yeah. But Google Analytics is a big part of it. Hopefully it will not be banned, but we won't be sure for now.
Okay,
More
thank
questions?
you. Yeah, very different question. Why did you start your organization? What was your vision?
Well, it's our colleagues, of course, that started the organization. It's online marketing. It has been around for a long time. They had been working with another company, which they liked, but they wanted to do something for themselves, and they wanted to create a work environment that was really focused on the colleagues and
And at the same time, creating value for customers.
exactly.
And we have a team with 16 different consultants, and they each have their own specialization. So
Yes.
they really want to serve the market in a broad way, and that's why they started this company, I think.
Yeah, so in the very early beginning, the focus was really SEA because social wasn't really a thing yet. So it sounds really old, but it was mainly SEA, and we were very good at it and still are. But we continued to grow, and we added a lot of specializations.
Yes, and online marketing is really a growing field. As Marleen already told you, recently we started advertising on TikTok, for example, and on Snapchat, and these are really new features. So maybe in a year there will be some totally other different online channels that are important.
Today, actually, Google Analytics announced that they will stop the classic universal analytics. So we will be migrating all of our data to other systems,
Oh,
the new versions of Google Analytics. So we have to keep up to date.
Yes.
That is online marketing. So if you like learning on the job, you'll have to do this.
you have to be very flexible.
Yes.
That's
Eager to learn.
Yeah.
I think
it
that's
keeps you up.
the questions for now.
So we'll continue with the social advertising then. So I'll introduce social for now. Next sheet, you will be seeing how we use social media in the Netherlands. This is from my big source, and what you can see here, WhatsApp is questionably a social media, but it's included now. You see that Facebook had a hit in 2018 when privacy issues came up, but since then grows back actually. In the last year or so, you'll see TikTok coming up, and for 2022, you'll see probably in the next stage that TikTok is increasing very, very fast. But the two biggest, aside from WhatsApp, the two biggest network platforms are Facebook and then Instagram. So that's why we use these as our main platforms to advertise, because the audience is the biggest and the broadest. On the next slide, you'll see that the average Dutch person spends about 97 minutes on social media daily. So that's a lot, more than 1.5 hours. And when I made this slide, I thought, wow, that's a lot. And then yesterday evening, I was actually more than 2 hours online. So so that's how it goes. Actually, the youngest groups obviously spend the most time on social media, and the older they get, the least time. But it's even for 65, 56. I do this wrong every time. There's more than an hour, yeah. So I'm not so good with numbers. On the next slide, you'll see that the younger the age group is, the more platforms they use. So the youngest age groups use actually 5 platforms at a time. So they are visible in a lot of social media platforms, and we'll have to pick the one that they engage the most with, because That's where they are the most likely to click to another website, if this is your target age group, of course. So the takeaway is we still are spending more and more time on social media. The younger the audience, the more minutes they daily spend on social media, and the actual time that they spend on social media is a lot. All age group increase in the amount of social media platforms that they use, and the youngest audience use the most platforms. So for Facebook and Instagram, the first question you'll actually use, if you go 2 slides. Yeah. Why do we use Facebook, Instagram? Well, first of all, the audience is broad. This is what I showed you before. But we can also use Facebook and Instagram for multiple objectives. So we can increase brand awareness, we can promote apps, we can increase local sales or website sales, we can increase traffic. There is a lot we can do, or we can focus on, we can measure a lot. The potential range is huge. There is a lot of availability to interact. This is not the case with the Google Display Network. It's a click and that's it. Here you have likes and shares and comments, so it's more interactive. You can be visible through multiple channels. Of course, when we advertise in Facebook, we also advertise in Instagram. This is one platform that we use. We can target both platforms in one campaign. But also there's the Facebook network, which is similar to the display network, which serves ads to multiple websites outside of these platforms. You can be very extensive or broad in your targeting, but also very specific. Just like the display network, Facebook is very keen on what interests you have and what you like. Next to that, it's quite cheap to advertise in it. So these are the reasons, the main reasons. So now there's a video, and I hope it works because it explains.
I hear no video.
We can try.
We can try.
We can try.
We will try.
Because we will be needing audio with this one.
Yeah.
If it's not, I'm going to try to explain.
Okay. Oh.
I see some things happening.
Me too. I hope the audio works as well.
We're making it difficult for you guys.
You might wonder why every one of your posts is not seen by every one of your friends inside of Facebook. Facebook uses what they call the algorithm. The algorithm is an advanced math formula that takes into consideration what you like, what you've previously liked, and what people like you have liked, and it thinks it knows what it thinks you want to see. In short, what it does is it measures Facebook juice. A post that has a lot of engagement is going to have a lot of juice. What is engagement? Well, engagement is primarily based on 3 things: likes, comments, and shares. It also is affected by the length of time that people watch through a video. So if you've watched 3 seconds of this, we're going to get more engagement than if you just breezed by it. If you watch the whole thing, then they're going to know that you like this kind of content, and they're going to start showing you more of this kind of content. Every time you engage with a post in Facebook, you add juice to it. You take a little bit of your juice and you add it to the bigger juice of that post. This is exactly how things go viral. When you post something and somebody shares it, that means their entire group of followers then has a chance to see it. And then maybe 2 or 3 of them will share it. And then it will be exponential growth from that point forward. So my mom always asks me, how do I get the word out of it's not letting me? So every time you see one of these videos, you can like it, you can add a comment to it, and you can share it. So every time you engage with a post, you add juice to it. The more juice a post has, the more relevancy it has. The more relevant Facebook thinks it is, the more often people will see it in their timeline. I hope that helps clarify some things. Stay tuned next time. We'll get more into this engagement stuff and how people are buying engagement and how you can start to take control of what's being shown to you by letting Facebook know that you might not be into something. So please like and subscribe down below. Share it, engage with this post, and help us get the word out.
Yes, that was it, I think. So now you, I think maybe you already kind of knew something about this, but this clearly explains it in a few words, and he does it better than I do probably. So the more you engage with the ad or with a post, the more it will gain and the more it will be shown. How do we do this in the campaigns? Well, we have 3 levels of things we have to set. So we have the campaign to set, and in the campaign we set the objective and the budget. Here we can add ad sets, and in the ad sets we set the audience, so we can set up the targeting, the interest, the geographical locations, etc., just like Google Ads actually. And we also set the placement, so we can select whether we want to advertise on Facebook or on Instagram, or only stories, for example, or in the Facebook network. So we can all set it there. And underneath these ad sets, we can add the ads themselves, which can be ads that are not shown on the Facebook page of the client, but we can also advertise the posts that are on the page. And it is in different strategies to select one or the other. So how we do this for the Alpha Man, in the next slide you'll see. First thing, we have a couple of campaigns live actually right now, and the first step is that we target new audiences, so people that have not heard from the Alpha Man right now, and we select them based on interests. And the second step, we will use remarketing, so we focus on people that interacted with first ad, or people that were on the website before. They will see a different message. And in the third step, we have dynamic remarketing, which was already explained, but then we show specific products that were seen by people that were on the website, so it's also retargeting. In the next slide, you'll see the examples of the ads. So in the first step, you'll see an ad which translates to the top 25 hairstyling products from the Alpha Man, and some fulfillment things like if you order before 9 o'clock, you will have it tomorrow, free shipment, etc. So those are the things we focus on in the first step. In the second step, you'll see specific products, more than one. This is a story example, but they are on different placements. And in the last step, you'll see the exact product that you visited. So here's an example of another product, but it's this example will change from person to person. So what we have achieved for now from the Alpha Man, in the last 2 years, we've experimented a lot. We have more than 2 million views. We reached over 400,000 people, mostly men, of course. About 33,000 clicked to the website, so 33,000 people were actually on the website, were visiting the website and searching for products. I've seen the brand. The cost per click was around 40 cents, so that's not really very high. They have a lot of engagement, and the quality of the ads were usually quite good, so the cost per click is not very high. The click-through rate, so the people that saw the ad and clicked on it, is about 1.5%. That sounds low, but in our world, in push marketing, that's quite normal actually. And from Facebook, they took about 1,700 sales, so that's a lot. And we are increasing our sales because we're expanding on social advertising right now. So this will be growing a lot next month, I think. conversion rate is more than 5%, and that is actually very high.
Yes, especially for social.
So exactly on this last step, they are doing very well in social advertising. So that is actually it for what we wanted to discuss about the channels, about what we do. We try to give you a little insight of how does it work. These are some channels that we do. Our work is broader than that, but maybe you have some questions about these.
Yes, thank you. Do you guys have questions? You can send them in the chat and I will ask the girls. Sounds all very interesting, the Alpha Man. Do you like working on this project?
So this is not actually one of our clients, one of our colleagues, but this is a nice client, I think, because I like e-commerce very much. I have a lot of e-commerce clients as well. And what I think is nice about it is that you can see from the first query or the first interaction to the last sale, you can exactly count how many times someone has been on the website, what costs were involved, so you can make a balance in what it cost and what it brought.
Yeah, it sounds very difficult to me. Like, it sounds very interesting, but very technical, like you said in the beginning.
Yeah, but it's getting easier actually, because more things are being automated right now, and you have to be interested in data. But as you have noticed, maybe I am not the best with numbers. I have dyscalculia, so and I can do this as well. You have to be interested in the data, of course, but I am also very keen on the creative part of this job. So because it's so broad, you can choose actually a direction of the thing that you like most.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And with customers like the Alpha Man, you work with several consultants on that project. So everybody can tell about their expertise, and everybody brings in something else.
Okay. It's really teamwork.
Yes, really teamwork.
Okay.
Yes, because the age of you know it all, you cannot know everything about every channel, about every new update. We can't. We did in the early days. Because it wasn't as broad, but now you have to have an expertise because you cannot keep up with everything.
No.
It's not. You shouldn't actually. You'll burn out.
It's understandable. Yeah. There's a question. Do you also work with drop shipping companies?
At the moment, it's not really drop shipping. Most have, or they have their own. Store or magazine shop, warehouse, I think. Some are, for example, advertising on bol.com, which is a marketplace, and they lay their products in their warehouse, so it's maybe a form of drop shipping, but you'll supply it yourself. So
yeah, not really, I think.
No.
Okay.
Because drop shipping, they have thin margins, so you'll have to pay our expert for our expertise, but also for the clicks. Usually it's not really profitable for drop shippers.
Okay. There's another question. Are you worried about future regulations concerning privacy laws?
Yes, of course. As Marleen already mentioned, there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment, especially with Google Analytics. Because Google Analytics is a statistic tool where we go to if we want to have some background information about the visitors on our website. And there might be a chance that Google Analytics is no longer providing all these data to companies like marketing agencies. And of course, for us, that's a big problem because, we need as many data from customers or from potential customers to create ads that are applicable to that type of customers.
So, from a personal perspective, yes, it's good to have these privacy regulations, but for our job, it makes it harder, I think.
And same thing is going on with the cookies, for example.
Yeah.
We all know the cookies, and for me as a person, and for you as well, it might be very annoying that you always have to accept these cookies. But accepting these cookies means that we can follow customers around the internet, and we actually, as a marketing company, need these data in order to provide good quality campaigns.
Yeah, it's very helpful for the marketing companies.
Yeah. Logically, the larger the data set is, the better our campaigns will run because they're more accurate.
Yep.
And actually, from our perspective, the more personalized ads are, usually I think they are less annoying if they're personalized to me. If I see random things that I just really not like, I tend to be annoyed by ads more and more. So I think there are multiple views to this.
It would be interesting to know some SEO tips from your experience.
Well, that is your experience.
Yes, that is my experience. I'm not sure how much you guys know about SEO, because that consists of 3 different elements, and the one that most people are familiar with is content. And if you write good content, it's usually getting picked up by Google, and then you have a higher chance to rank on certain search terms. But there's also a very technical part and a link building part. And I think the best tip I can give to you is not only create content because you want to rank on certain search terms, but also create content that's really interesting for people. In my experience, the best content is if you actually can amuse somebody. Not that it's only written with the purpose to get you on that website, and then you get on that website and it's just information that's not interesting for you at all. So really dive in and get some more information about your audience and the people you want to attract on your website, and create the content for that group.
Yes, because if it's interesting, they will linger longer, they will click on more things, the engagement will be bigger, and those are important signs. So
yes.
Okay, that's
so don't only write because you know that you need some content on your website, but create good quality content.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's a good tip, I think. Are there any more questions? Otherwise, I think that's it for today.
We have 2 more sheets, if
Okay.
you will.
Okay, yes.
It's not really informative, but it's about our vacancies, because we are looking for new trainees. So if you're done with your study and you find this interesting, please look it up or follow us on our channels, because we will share regularly and in Dutch usually, actually. But we are continuously searching for new colleagues, because we are growing harder than we can manage. So
Yes, and on the last slide you see our channels that you can follow us on. Also, if you want to have tips about online marketing, follow our Instagram page or our LinkedIn page. We will post regularly about things we do, and colleagues with a different kind of expertise will tell you a little bit more about, for example, in my case, I will tell you a little bit more about SEO, and Marleen can tell you a little bit more about the social channels in blogs and with other kinds of posts.
So that's it from us, I think.
Yeah, there's one more question.
Yes.
How do you feel about Facebook's recent drop? Are you worried about Meta's products? And there's another part of the question. And how do you feel as a company? How do you stay flexible enough to move to other platforms like TikTok?
Yeah, so it's in the first thing, the Facebook privacy, I think. What was the question?
About the Meta products.
Meta products. So it's actually rebranding, because most of the products were already there. Meta, of course, includes some more Web 1.3 actions, but it's more of a rumor than it's actually been announced. So for now, we will focus on the more traditional lines. Of course, there are developments in the cookies, and cookieless future is one of them, and that is something that we will need to be updated on, just like a lot of other things that we need to be updated on, but that is one big one as well. So we need to be flexible, of course, with this and all other kinds of things for new platforms, etc. So that is why we continue to make room in our portfolios to expand our expertise. So most colleagues have free time out of the client portfolio to learn about new platforms, about new things to experiment with. We try with our clients to experiment on new platforms to gain data.
Yeah, so for example, there are a lot of lead roles in our team. There's actually two people I think that are really focusing on social advertising.
Yeah.
So next to their clients, they have room to read about these channels, to watch webinars about these channels, so that they will be up to date with the new informations and new things coming up. And that also means that these colleagues are responsible for developing our skills in their new channels. For example, if they see that the meta things like Facebook and Instagram are declining and it's not that interesting anymore, it's their responsibility to check out how the new platforms work, like TikTok and Spotify, for example.
Yeah.
So basically, a lot of people in our team have that kind of a role.
Yeah.
So that we really can react very fast on new changes in the world.
Yeah, because we need to, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yes.
We will check attendance with a QR code. Do we do it now? Okay. Thank you, and thank you guys for listening. I hope to see you at the next KIC meet. Yeah.